Welcome to the Voice Reality in the MSP podcast series. So I'm here today with Jed. We're looking forward to another session with you, talking about some of the challenges, the opportunities, the dynamics, and what we see going on with voice in the MSP space. And I think today's topic and sort of the discussion and question is really around what does voice mean to an MSP's margin structure, to their sort of churn impact, to lifetime value. How does it impact those areas, and maybe exploring that a little bit. I know you've been doing lots of prep and talking to lots of partners. What's your thinking on those areas?
I think the biggest part for them is customer retention, and it's making customers more sticky by having more services with them, right?
Yeah.
If the customer has got their networking capability already, their voice services, their data services, amongst all of the other cyber security things that they do, the customer is much less likely to kind of move away, right?
Yeah.
And also you're sort of locking out your competitors that only deliver a small part of that. And I think that's where we're seeing IT MSPs come into the market, really have that upper hand on a lot of the traditional telcos who actually only delivered that one part of the overall portfolio, which is changing massively, right?
And I think last time we talked about the risk of bringing voice into your portfolio. So we thought we'd be quite open about that a lot of MSPs perceive risk in that way. I'm adding in a product that's relatively small, that increases the risk for me with that customer. But I think what we're identifying today is the opposite to that. The risk of not bringing voice into the portfolio because you're leaving a competitor with a foot in the door who typically will be trying to move to an MSP model, maybe already offers other services, and they'll be trying to take the wallet share.
Yeah.
And I think that is a really real risk. We need to make sure we can equip MSPs to be really confident and comfortable with delivering voice services in.
And there's also that risk of doing it and not doing it correctly as well, right? So bringing in the wrong partner or bringing in the wrong product is understanding the customer's needs and requirements and implementing the right service. And if you don't do that, that can affect the rest of what you already do, right? And then again, lose margin in some of the other areas that you're earning high margins in terms of cybersecurity and other areas. So it's the risk of not doing it, but also the risk of doing it and doing it wrong and not having the right partner that can sort of support you with that journey.
Yeah, and I think that, the vendor choice is key. We talked last time about the role of Microsoft and Cisco in this space and how important it was. And I think they provide a degree of brand credibility that a partner can use when they go into an account. They know they're selling voice from a vendor that can deliver it, a vendor with a roadmap, a vendor that lives and breathes reliability. Even simple things like how that product actually deploys. It deploys like an IT product, same as anything else. Our billing mechanisms work as a software sale. It's all inclusive minutes, as we touched on before. It's like any other SaaS product that's going to be delivered into that customer. The reality is the Gamma voice proposition to the MSP should look and feel and touch and smell like any other IT proposition they assess and review, bring into their portfolio. Yeah,
it's that move from sort of hardware to software, isn't it? That's what we've seen, right? Everything now is about having that software and having that software client, which actually makes it a lot easier for ease of deployment when you're selling these services and then provisioning these services, because you can manage and maintain them via the Gamma portal or via the admin centers through Microsoft and through Cisco as well. So and it really helps because a lot of customers and a lot of the IT MSPs that we work with are multi-international, right? So they deal with much larger clients who have got international offices, so they can do remote deployments, but also we can deliver that into those countries. We can remove that complexity of having to deal with the regulations in France and Belgium and Germany, wherever it may be, and we can deliver that very, very seamlessly through things like Microsoft.
And I think it is worth just dwelling on that for a second around the sort of the compliance aspect of it, because actually delivering a software product multi-country, as I was saying, it's pretty simple. There's the compliance and regulation in that is relatively simple in comparison to voice, whereas actually voice is a regulated environment. So deploying voice into France for a company who's got an office in the UK is actually pretty difficult in the main. What Gamma have done with our Operator Connect proposition is just made that easy. We've taken all that compliance burden and we can deliver that for MSPs now, so they can deliver into how many countries have we got? And
I think over 7 countries and then more to be added as well. And then we've almost gone a one step further than that and included the monthly minutes on there as well. So, again, we spoke about in the last podcast about removing the complexity of delivering voice, the monthly minutes and the risk that is involved in that, particularly when you're dealing with international customers. We've completely removed any of that need. So that was really important for us, for our partners.
So it becomes that kind of operationally simple, frictionless sell that IT businesses, IT MSPs are looking for, rather than the dark art of voice that we had historically, where all of these issues like compliance suddenly pops up and creates a problem. Solving that sort of stuff. What are the things that are coming up in the conversations you're having with new partners? So when you sit down with an MSP partner who are looking at this, what are their sort of selection criteria? What are they thinking about? What are their concerns? What's driving their thinking?
I think it's about providing the right product for them. Is not just providing a singular product, right? Because you can go in there and you could just sell Microsoft, but actually it might not be the right fit for that particular business. So it's understanding the customer's needs and requirements and providing the best solution for that product. And that's not just the product itself, it's all of the overlays that you can offer, whether that's the call recording, the integration, all of the compliance elements. So I think for them, and one of the benefits of working with Gamma is that we don't just have one voice product. We have a range that fit a range of requirements from your micro and mid-market to enterprise customer. So that's a big part, is the choice for them.
And how are we supporting partners in making that choice? Because if there's an MSP and they're maybe not familiar with some of the vagaries of where the strengths and weaknesses are going to be in those propositions.
Well, we do it in a few ways. So brand new partners will be part of the onboarding journey, so that we'll make sure that their teams, so their sales teams, provisioning, billing, marketing, are all upskilled to understand all of the legs of the journey, not just one element, it's all of the legs of the journey. And then we take that via our online training academy, the Gamma Academy, where they can complete accreditations and upskill their support teams via there as well. But then we even go a step further and we have a range of sales specialists who will come in and deliver sessions to their teams. They'll even go and actually help them sell the service, right? So our team live and breathe these products. We've got specialists across Microsoft or Cisco, and these guys will come in and help the customers actually sell the service. So, from the start of being a new partner and completely maybe brand new to voice, we take them through this journey to where they're confident and understand all the products, all the portals and services that we offer.
So that sort of sell with model seems to be really critical in some of those MSP conversations, where we play a meaningful role in their business by extending the team and giving them that capability to start off with as they get confident with the products.
That's it, yeah. And one of the things that I think IT MSPs maybe don't do as well is that they don't market themselves, because a lot of what they get is through word of mouth. So they get it from some of their existing customers. They do such a great job that they find the next customer. And there's part that they maybe don't do is that sort of outreach model of letting people know that maybe they've just added telco or they've added other services. That's one of the things that we help a lot of IT MSPs with through Accelerate, or the Accelerate portal. So we've got all of the marketing material, all of the collateral, so that they can onboard new products without it having to reinvent the wheel, without them having to cost them loads of money. They can go to market very, very quickly and provide campaigns, social media, all of those different parts as well.
And I think the other bit we've added on recently is the whole insights program, where now what we're able to do is share data sets with the partner, help them analyse and understand their customer base, help them understand vertical market opportunity. Are they over-indexed or under-indexed in those verticals? How can we help them explore new verticals? All of those different things, and where opportunity might exist. And data now sits very much at the forefront of our proposition with partners as well.
It is. It's analysing that, and it's then the upsell opportunity, which is what IT partners are very good at. They're very good at cross-selling other products. So if we can provide them with that data and understand that maybe a cybersecurity product or the telecoms mobile services could fit very well into that customer, then we can help them analyse their customer base and upsell a lot of these products and services that they offer.
So what would be the sort of one thing you sort of want to land in terms of you're talking to an IT MSP audience and who are maybe considering voice? What would be the one bit of sort of guidance you'd want to give to say, this is where I'd start that journey?
I think it's about support. I think is the main thing, is that we will support them from the word go and support them with that journey of onboarding voice, but also that continued support, I think, is important, right? It's that we spoke about it in the last series, about the trusted advisor, and that is support through our account management systems, that support through our senior leadership team, but also our support teams in the back end as well, that are working and helping them with some of the complex issues that you do have, right? So things like porting, we can't get away. Porting is a bit of a dark art in the telecoms world, but we've got a huge porting team and we've got training that will help them understand that.
And if it's one, they can outsource it to us, can't they? And we can just deliver that service on their behalf.
Exactly that. So if they want to do that, then we can also support them with the actual, the managed services of that themselves. So I think that support and ongoing support and building that trust is a big part of it.
Yeah, makes sense. Thank you very much. Well, the end of another episode, and look forward to speaking to you again soon.
Thanks very much.